Alright, hello everyone, it's Team Rocket Plays here with another episode on our Let's Play Minecraft Together Season 2 series on my channel. And I'm over here in our overbase, and yeah, overworld base I guess. We need to come up with a name for this area, guys. So probably by the end of the episode I'll think of something just so I could call it that way. And yeah, so actually I found my shulker that I lost in one of the episodes, guys. Like, I put it down and then I couldn't find it, and then after like a day or two, for some reason it was right there on top of that. So yeah, it probably wasn't loading since it's been happening lately. I've been having issues, but it is what it is. At least I didn't lose it. I didn't have anything special in it. It was just more the fact, you know, that yeah, how did I lose a shulker, more like that. But yeah, guys, so I actually haven't done anything ever since. Oh yeah, other than getting some leaves in the back over here, I haven't really done anything over here because I wanted to actually start on the riverbed. So I just took down some more trees, and yeah, I got like a couple shulkers full of leaves. I also got some leaves in the temp overworld, so I'll be showing you guys a time lapse of that, guys, because I added the replay mod. So now we have that working for us. So I'll be able to do that time lapsing like everything that I do, for example, like working on this area, and that way you guys can get an idea of what I do and how I do it. So that's actually really cool. It is a little bit time consuming doing it just because it takes so long to actually use it, and I'm not familiar with it. Like, I've done it in the past, I've used it last season I think, but it's just a really hard like thing to learn. Like, if I go away from it for like a week and then come back to it, I'll probably forget how to use it. So it's just one of those issues. I also been running into some issues where I can't replay it on there, like on the actual replayer or the player, whatever you guys want to call it, when you're editing it, when you're making it move the way that you want. For some reason it goes into the Mojang red loading screen, and it doesn't allow me to see what I've done until I render it, which actually takes a while. So fortunately I've been able to kind of like guess what I want, and yeah, it's been working fine properly, but I'm not able to see it before I render it, which kind of sucks. But like I said, it's been working, and that's all that matters. So I'll be showing you that later on, guys, because I went to get a bunch more leaves. And yeah, so for this right now, what I wanted to do was come down here and actually start placing down our wall, or not our wall but our bed. See, now how do you mistake bed for wall? But our riverbed, and that way we could get started. That way I could add the water, and at least we have something to start off with. So I wanted to do the same thing that I have over here, where I want to mix this in, and this is all gonna be trial and error, guys, because like this is what I want, right? But I don't know exactly what I want to do. So that's something that, yeah, it's gonna take me a while. So let me see what I could do, guys. And because I brought a shulker full of basalt as well as gravel, but I'm also, yeah, because I was gonna say I was gonna add some stone, but the problem is that the stone is not the contrast is really big, so I might use the stone just for like the surface, because this seems like it's wet, right? Like, if you compare it to the stone, the basalt kind of looks like if it was wet, like a wet stone, and then this one's just dry. So I might leave the outside like that and then just make stone like dry, I guess, dry stone. That actually took way more basalt than I thought it was gonna be. I think it's like almost close to a shulker, guys. Look how many stacks I have left. Yeah. So now I'm just going back and actually putting some in this, just because yeah, it doesn't look too good. And then I was thinking of what other block looks similar in and not in texture but just in color as this. And to be honest, guys, I don't know what other texture, actually not texture but color, fits basalt. There's not really anything. And then I tried the polished basalt, but it's just not good, guys. It's not good at all. But yeah, it doesn't look good, guys, because of the actual texture of the actual basalt. It looks more like wood than it does than this one does. So now let's actually, probably you guys know how it looks like already because of the time lapse, but let me actually look at it. And oh yeah, there we go. That looks way better. Nice. Kind of like that. Now I want to do this part right here, and I have to figure out what I could actually use to go with the basalt for texture. So the closest thing that I could think of has to be concrete, and like dark gray concrete, as well as wool. And I think somebody over there is selling wool. So that's something that we're gonna go for. So let's go, because light gray, it's not that dark, and I want something that's close to the other one. So let's go with gray. So how much is it? All concrete, 2 diamonds a stack. So do you have another chest? Let's go. So I'm just gonna get probably a stack, and we'll see how that works. So there we go. Actually, I'll get 2. Oh, I guess payment actually here. Payments. There we go. And then I also wanted to, oh yeah, the concrete powder. I think he sells it upstairs. So it is a little bit lighter. I kind of like this. Oh, but the thing is we can't use concrete powder. Oh man, I'm such an idiot. Alright, so I think it's stick and stones, the one that was selling wool. Full shulkers, 9 diamonds each, or 2 stacks for 1 diamond. So obviously, gray shulker, gray wool. So obviously this is a better deal for us. 9 diamonds each. Please return shulker. Alright, there we go. So now let me just give them back the box. So there we go. 9 diamonds. Thank you, man. Alright guys, and we might as well check our shop just to see if we have any sales, because we actually been selling out on our Cinnabons already twice. I had to restock twice already, guys. So they've been selling, so I ended up raising the price by 1 diamond, since literally they would sell right away. So that means, you know what I mean, people were really wanting them. So hopefully now either they don't sell as fast, or they sell as fast and I get an extra diamond. So we'll see with that, because I think we're the only ones selling them right now, other than that shop over there. But yeah, they haven't been stocked. So let's check it out, see if we have any sales. We have sold some. There we go, guys. We have sold some, so that's actually really good. Unfortunately, yes, I did raise the price, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes, in order to, you know what I mean, the demand's really high. So let me actually do that. And yeah, now we got 3 to go, and I just need to go mining in between episodes. Actually, I've been doing it, but yeah, so we made 12 diamonds. And then let's see if we sold anything over here, and it seems like we haven't. Nobody wants any of that. I know a lot of people are selling it, so that's another issue. So let's go up here, because I actually finished off the top over here, guys. And yeah, so it's just basic. I just have these right here just in case I ever need them. I have some chests right here for storage. So I got some basalt, oak leaves, any extra that I might need. And then I have this for this right here, guys. That way we could actually start making yeah, our money and see how much we're making so far. So these are the diamonds that I made in the shop so far, guys. These are not including the sales that we had over in the market. Yeah, so that's not including that. This is just what we made here in this shop. So we already made 7 diamond blocks and 4 diamonds, guys, which is really good. Oh, there we go. So yeah, we actually been doing really good. So I restocked it. Good thing that I checked it out. And yeah, so now hopefully they don't sell as quick, because it actually takes quite a long time to get those, guys. It really does, especially now since they haven't reset the temp nether. So it's really hard to get a lot of these, since everything is basically mined. And then I've actually died quite a few times, guys, due to lava. So yeah, that's another thing right there. All right, guys, so I came over here and it seems like somebody's doing this sell. Yeah, so they're actually selling diamonds for Asian debris. So that's good, because we actually have ours. And what? What? All right, guys, so I had to relog back in because the server restarted, and it took me probably like 10 minutes before I relocked back in just because I was watching a video, and we sold that already. Oh no. So we can make like an extra diamond just selling it to him. And you kidding me? We only have 3 right now. But man, you see what I'm saying, guys? I need to raise the prices. They sell so quick. So let me just make sure. Give me 1 ancient debris for 4, yes, 4 diamonds. All right. So we have these right here. So now we can give them 3. So I want to see because I gave them 3, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 9. That's 14. So somebody made some diamonds just by buying ours for 3 and then selling them over here for 4. So they made basically a diamond for each debris, which was 14. So they made 14 diamonds off of me, guys. Ah man, so that's not cool, but it is what it is. I would have done the same thing, so that's pretty cool. At least we made some more diamonds off of it. And yeah, so I need to see if I have 3 more because I don't know if I have any at the house or at the, yeah, I guess our base, because I smelted a bunch of it, so I don't have the debris. I just have the scrap. So I need to figure out if they will take that, since it is does say ancient debris. And I just came up here just to see some of these, just in case they have anything else in stock or anybody else opened the shop. And it seems like they're working on some over here, so let's go check them out. So like I said, it didn't even take 10 minutes for these to sell, so it had to be somebody over here. So we got Firewolf at 833. What are you selling, bro? Choker shells. And yeah, he's selling choker shells, so we're gonna actually need some. So that's one of the shops that we might actually hit. Tinker shop coming soon, stock coming soon, so they're not stocked that up. That's actually a really cool pattern right here. All right, so if we actually make them into diamonds, we got 6 more diamond blocks, which will add up to 13 diamond blocks. So that's actually quite a bit, guys. We're racking up some diamonds. I didn't have any more ancient debris, but I did have the ones that I smelted, guys. So I ended up renaming these to 3 diamonds each, and yeah, I switched them out. So now let's see if these sell. So I have like another restock with having 14 on myself. Spooky Doki, what's up, bro? Alright guys, so let's see how it's actually gonna look with the concrete and the wool. So here, just get one of these out, and we'll see how it actually looks compared to each other. So let's add it right here. Alright, so this is the concrete, and really dark, so I don't like that. And it's so plain as well compared to the texture from the other blocks. So what about wool? You know what, I might actually use this on the sides. So let's actually take a look at that. I wonder how that looks like. I think the wool is the closest one to this, and it's probably gonna be the one that I'll end up using in some of these. But let's actually switch this right here with actual concrete. Let's see how that actually looks like. It kind of looks like a little bit more. Yeah, okay. And then it's gonna be underwater, so you're not fully gonna see the difference, right? Almost, because this looks almost like mud, you know, like the water, like on it's a lot smoother. What about if, so I might use this here and there. I'm not gonna fully use this 'cause it's so smooth. Texture is way different. I think the powder would have looked a lot better, but obviously since we're gonna have it underwater, it's not gonna be powder no more. So I kind of like that. I might actually use that and mix it in with this right here, and I think that actually would look good. So should I just keep that on the walls like that? Because it almost looks wet as well, right? Kind of like the dirt, you know what I mean? No, I was gonna say it's the same texture, but not. So that's actually one of the things that I probably doing, and just switching some of these. Yeah, that's actually gonna look really good. I like that, guys. So I'm probably gonna replace it like in the areas where like in the middle of the areas, not in the edges. In the edges, I'll just use the rock bed. I'm just gonna say that the river bed. And yeah, so then I'll probably replace with pool, and then as well probably on the other side. All right, so there we go. I added the whole thing right there. I still need to work on it, guys. It's just one of those things that I need to be working on, like as I'm going. Just because I did it one way doesn't mean that that's the way it's gonna stay. It's more like depending on how much progress I make on it, I'm gonna have to probably make some changes as I go. But I kind of like how it looks like. So I decided to add the wool on the areas that were more plain, you know, like where it wouldn't be, it would be like a little bit more smooth since the water. So obviously here it's not going to be rough just because the water's not hitting it. So what this basically is, guys, if you guys are not familiar with the riverbeds, it's all the rocks. So all the rocks that the water actually is pushing throughout time, I don't know, years and years, all the rocks are being dropped right here. So that's why there's some areas that are more bulky than others. It's just obviously the rocks depending on how they fall and so on. And then yeah, that's why over here we actually have a hole and not down here, just because it's actually a little bit thicker, just because this is where all the rocks are falling. So they tend to gather up in a bunch, and yeah, that's how they end up looking like. So I also did it on the sides over here. It's more of just doing what I'm doing, and working on as I go. Another thing that I added, so I did do the whole ring around except over there, because we're obviously going to take that wall down in order to connect it to the actual river. But I actually went all around and added the wool around the edges on some areas. Obviously I don't want to get like a pattern going, just because that's not what we want. So I ended up doing that. I also added some logs. Obviously, being on top of there, some trees had to fall down and got washed up in this area, and it doesn't really make sense. It's gonna be a lake up there, and where are all these trees coming from? But just over time, you know, they fall, or something happens, they end up falling. Probably they fell from up here. It doesn't necessarily have to be from the lake. So I added a couple here and there, and then I went with these right here, just because obviously some have to be a little bit older than others and dried out. So yeah, I mean, dried out, they're in the water, but if you guys been in a lake or something like that, you guys will see the difference in some of the woods that are dead compared to more fresh fallen trees. So that's why I have these right here. And I just decided to add one in these areas just for a little bit detail once you come down here. So it's just gonna add a little bit more to that. And now what I want to do actually is actually start filling this area with the water. So it's actually gonna take quite a while, so I might time lapse it, guys, that way you guys can see how I'm doing it. And yeah, it's gonna be a cool part, because we're gonna get an idea of what we're doing so far. There we go. So so it's just a matter of doing this over and over. Yeah, so once we have all the water right here, it's gonna be a lot easier to make any changes, because one of the things that I need to do is add like rocks, right? Like the rock surface right there, I'm gonna add some rocks that I'm add up there. But in order to get a better idea of what I want to do, I need to add the water. That way it gives me like a better look, I guess, to it, to see what needs to be changed. So adding the water, I think it's gonna be good right now, since I already got the bottom, the floor, and now if once we add the water, if I need to make any changes, then we will. So but for right now, guys, I think it's just a matter of adding the water. so this is how it ended up looking like, guys. And I know it doesn't look as good as it was before. It doesn't look as good as it was dry, just because all you see is water, right? But like I said, like once I start adding more detail, like the terrain and adding everything a little bit better, it's just gonna come out way more better. So you really can't see the actual basalt though, but once we get closer you guys can see the waterfall and what I meant, how the water goes over here. And yeah, so once you get closer you're able to actually see the smaller details. I might have to mess with this because it didn't really turn out the way I wanted it to. And then like I said before, like in some of these areas, obviously, like once I added the water, I realized that that wasn't gonna, you know, that kind of stands out. I might actually leave it once I start adding the stone around this and the details, you know, then I'll see if that's actually not good. Yeah, so we ended up getting a couple wet dogs, as you guys saw in the time lapse. But yeah, so I think it came out good overall. These are some areas that I think it's just a render glitch. I don't think that it's actually missing water, and if I did, then I could always just fix it by pillaring up from the bottom. But yeah, so we have, oh, I guess we have quite a few of these, more than I expected. But once, like I said, from the top you really can't see the logs, but once you come down here, then yeah, everything's there. So overall, guys, like I'm glad I finished this off. And then one of the things that I noticed was that over here, coming over here, when I took down this wall down, I realized that the actual river is a little bit lower than what we have over here. So yeah, well, it kind of makes sense, right? Because of the gravel and the rock and stuff like that. So the paint is gonna be like just removing everything, or I might just actually place a layer on top of it instead of actually going down there and removing it. So I can put the bottom layer. That I'm just gonna probably just put it over, and even though it's not gonna be too deep, it's still gonna be okay, you know what I mean? Like you really can't see too much into it, and it's gonna cut down the work by a lot. So overall, guys, I think it came out decent. I mean, we did a lot of work, or at least I did. It took me probably like 3-4 hours of playing, just to do this episode. And it's starting to get really hot lately here where I'm from. Yesterday it was like 104 degrees, which after around 2 I couldn't be in my room no more. So I'm glad that I was able to finish doing what I wanted to do on the computer, editing the other videos and stuff like that. So yeah, so we actually got to quite a bit, guys. The next thing is just gonna be adding the details on the sides of this right here. And overall it's just turning amazing. Another thing that I need to do is also come up with a new design for some trees for this area, because I know how to do some, but I want to come up with like a new style, a different type of tree. And yeah, so I need to go into creative for that. But overall, guys, let me know what you guys thought of this video. I did something different where instead of just recording and then editing the video, I was editing as I was going, so that way I knew how long I was basically gonna go for. And I might be a little bit better, to be honest, because I know what I'm doing, and then I don't have to guess on where I'm at. And usually when you're just recording, you tend to record a little bit more. And yeah, so I think that's something that I'll be doing in the future. But I think that's gonna be it for this episode, guys. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more videos, and I guess I'll just catch you guys on the next one. Team Rocket Plays